So welcome everyone. This is our second class for this February series, the Tao Calligraphy writing. And we're so excited because we have some newer students who may be watching the video and joining us live. So usually what we do start the class with is a baseline. So this is something that we do so we don't judge, we just get familiar, and we'll help you get more familiar with your equipment and everything. So if you feel comfortable, your brush might not be ready yet, but you can watch. Oh yeah, it's not already. And then, so this is the water. And actually, last class, we talked about the brush and having a connection with the brush that we'll review today. And I'll also maybe review some of the treasures. And maybe when the new person comes back, we'll talk more about the difference with regular calligraphy and Tao calligraphy. And we'll also learn a character. For most of us, we will review our Da, and for some of you who have been taking, we'll continue on with the I. We use Da I, so greatest love, we will work on that. But for the new ones, I want you to just enjoy and relax. And if you have questions, just let me know. But we usually start with a baseline of where we are. So if you do have a phone, it's great. You can track your progress. Oh, welcome, Grant. So Grant has joined. Hey. Hello. We have a couple in person too, so welcome.
Hey, thank you.
So we're just starting with the baseline. Oh, let me just there. So you might get on the phone. I was trying to look for. Oh, there. I don't have to send a reminder. Aloha, Evelyn. Thank you for joining. So let's start with our baseline. So for those of you who are regularly with us, what we do is we practice getting into that condition to write. For those of you who are newer, we're just I'll lead you through it, but I want you to just get familiar with the writing. And this is your first writing before the class. And then we see how we do at the end of the class, so we get to see our progress. So we've been talking about grounding when we are doing a calligraphy writing. Before we write, we ground, so we can put our minds in our lower abdomen. And for those of you who can imagine this ball of light, so we talk about being grounded and relaxed. We also talk about being aligned. So one of the things about Tao calligraphy is that it is a healing art. So we want to really connect with the universe, anything that you believe in, your spiritual fathers and mothers, for the Tao Calligraphy Committee portal, so to speak. So we talk about being aligned. And writing with heart is the third one that we talk about. So connecting with the message that we're writing and writing it from the heart, okay? So don't worry about how you're doing. I just want you to get that feeling. Those who are new, don't worry too much. Just do your best and get a feel of the brush as our first strokes. We will write Da. You can either write Da or Da I for those of you who have been writing for a while. And if you see the Da there, you can kind of check, trace the bottom one and just see how it feels. We'll do more about our brush connection, but I just want our baseline. So allow ourselves to just relax, think about the greatest love, connect with that message, and we're going to write it for our first writing of the day. And then usually we take a photo so we can see our progress. And we'll go over holding the brush too. Yeah, maybe what we can do is practice the holding of the text. So one of the things about Tao calligraphy is also the process, and we believe that Tao calligraphy can represent our life. And so how we approach Tao calligraphy, what comes up in the Tao calligraphy writing, we have this opportunity to be aware of it and actually transform it if it doesn't serve us, okay? And one of the things is with our writing, a lot of times you may notice if you are judging your work or you're just enjoying it, okay? What we want to do is really go for the enjoyment and the appreciation. We will correct some of the technical parts and it will come. So we want to be patient with that. But for now, I just want you to enjoy the writing. And last week, we talked about having a connection with our brushes. So I'm going to just review that for those of us here. So some of us have new brushes, and the 4 treasures in Chinese writing, or I'll say Asian because I think that the Japanese also will, note these treasures in writing. So who remembers the 4 treasures for the advanced students or the new ones? Do you remember? One of the 4. Okay, so one of the 4, the main one is the brush. Okay, so 4 treasures in the study of Chinese writing is the brush. The other is the ink, but for us, it will be the water, right? The other is a water container or the ink container. So usually the Japanese style, they would grind like the ink with the stick and they put some water and then it'll collect here and then it'll make the ink. So the ink stone was also viewed as very valuable. So it's one is the water or the ink, the container, the brush, and then lastly would be the surface, the paper that we write on. And that's what we use to create a piece. So they call it the 4 treasures. And just having the word treasures can bring this more sacredness and respect. And so we can keep our equipment or the treasures well, right? So there's a way that we take care of our brush, the ink, and what we do with the paper. The main one we've been talking about is the brush, because some of us had new brushes. So the first thing that we were talking about last time too is to feel it as be one with it. So like in a samurai, they would say, they say the samurai carries the soul, right? The soul of the samurai is in the sword, and they would really take care of it. And it's handed down generations. So our brush, we also hold value. And for a calligrapher, this is like our sword. So we always will keep it at a point when we take care of it. So even after rewriting, we will try to bring it back to a point, right? And then when we're done, we usually hang it on the area. And we want to just make that connection. So last week, we did like a meditation to connect. So this one too, we want to just give this love and gratitude and just allow ourselves to learn our brush. So for those of you who are already having your brush, Amy was saying she's just learning her new brush too, right? So let's just take a moment to just warm up with our brushes, to just kind of get to know our brushes. We'll do our physical warm-ups later when we're writing, but since we're on the brush, so we can, those of you who know soul power, you can say, dear my brush, love you, honor you, and appreciate you. Please help me write well, help me connect with you. So we are pouring in this sacred message through our brush, okay? Or sacred pathways, okay? So just imagine that you're in this channel of light, and through your body, the light comes to your arms and to your fingers to the brush, okay? For those of you who need the refresher in holding the brush, usually our thumb and our middle finger are the ones that kind of are grabbing the brush. And you can make it a bit more like a circle, not as concave like this, okay? So a bit more like inside towards the brush. This one is a bit looser. It goes on the top here, kind of holding. These other two can either follow along the line here to hold the brush. It goes, our wrist goes up because we're doing it horizontal. This brush is vertical on the paper, so it's not like this, or not like when we're writing with pencil. Okay, so this would be the general. So this is a 2, follow, and then on the top. However, if you have a thinner brush, you may want to brace it. So in that Tao Calligraphy source book that Cecilia wrote, she may talk about this style of holding the brush. So if you can brace your other 2 fingers against it. So you can see which one, you can play with it and see which one feels comfortable. Sometimes I might do this one with the skinny brush, but if I have a thicker brush and a heavier brush, it's hard to hold it like that, like your hand can cramp. So I usually will just hold it all like this. When we learned Japanese calligraphy, we did not do this. We just kind of held that. So there's different ways. So just be comfortable. But what we want to do is, again, this is our treasure. We want to connect and be one with it. So when we hold it, we just put the intention that we're one. This thing, we're one. And then if you try to lift it, it feels connected. Our hands can be relaxed, but connected. But if we grab too hard, we can fight against, but we can still probably pull it out. We don't want to be too cramped, or we don't want it too loose where we're not really holding it. So if I come by and I pull it out, it will come out. Your hand should move with it. Okay, so you can just practice for yourself that you feel connected, and you'll be surprised, just like if you're just holding the brush and see, it just pops out. That wasn't connected. And then if you just have the same grip, it's still light, but now I put my mind, I'm connecting, I'm one with the brush. It'll stick. Okay, so just allow yourself to just have that brush stick. Okay, you're connected. And we're going to try these different lines again. So for those who are experienced, you can try the line. The first is dip, and you're going across. So you can see how if you go this way, or if you just go on the points, the different lines. So you can allow yourself to kind of play with the brush. So one is just the point. Okay. One is if you go on the side of the brush. Okay, let me see if it's, and push down a little. You don't have to go too hard. So see, point, lighter. If I'm pressing down, you can see the surface area increases. So the line gets thicker. So you can just play with your brush to make thin lines, thicker lines. and enjoy. Allow yourself to get to know your brush. Some of you can practice like the dot, the, you know, like a curvy lines, wave, wave, wave. Or when you turn around, turn the brush, right? Okay. Allow yourself to just see how it feels to have your brush go different ways. Okay? So, like for instance, in Da, we're going straight, pointed, and then this one you go down, flat down. Right? The tip to turn and then down, right? Pressing down. So just allow yourself to feel how it feels like. Yeah. To get to know your brush. Those of you who know how to write, you can practice with your dot because it has certain thick, lift, dip, lift, dip, right? So you can kind of practice curving this side curves, right? And goes around. You can feel. Yeah, it's not softer, right? Yeah. So with each brush, it just like people have different personalities and different strengths and tendencies, the brushes have similar. So depending on the type of hair and size of the brush, it will feel different. So it definitely feels different if I write with this brush, and this brush. So this brush is an older brush. It lost a lot of these things, but I'm so used to, I really like this brush. However, because it's ready to also induct a new brush to support me, I'm needing to get used to this newer brush. Okay. And so what we want to do with the newer brush is not compare, although it might be hard, but we want to send positive message to it. Because if I think, oh, it's not as good as my other one, it doesn't feel very good, right? The brush doesn't feel. We believe everything has its soul. So once you get it to cooperate with you, you'll notice that you might write better. So brush. So we just did a lot of brush connection from last week to this week. We're learning how the brush likes to move, how much pressure is comfortable for us. And again, when you don't worry too much, you just want to get familiar and have fun with it. And I'll later show you too, like some of the if we need to correct the brush. But I think you're doing pretty good with holding the brush. Yes, thank you for mentioning. So usually with the water paper when you're holding, the brush in one hand, and usually you can put your hand on the other part of the paper to hold it down. You don't want to lean too much, but it's just to kind of hold your paper and have yourself in this open position, right? So because the energy comes, so you don't want to be too cramped like this. You want to have like an open stance. So usually your feet, 2 feet on the ground. So everyone, you can check your posture too. If you're sitting down, then you're sitting maybe at the front, back is as straight as possible. Okay, we're feeling that connection, right? We're bringing it in. Shoulders are relaxed. We don't want to be like this and we're relaxed. And we want to have this open posture, okay? So hand here, usually if you're holding the paper, and then hand. Yeah, so that's definitely okay. But careful if you have a tendency to lean on one side, to press down too much and lean, because then it would throw your posture off. So it's basically here, and it's just like to keep the paper down and to kind of keep that open. It's not for support. Yeah, it's not for support. It's just more for holding the paper down. Good. That's a great question. Good. Okay. And so usually what we do is we start warming up our bodies, okay? Because with Tao calligraphy, we can take a lot of time and energy. And because this is a healing art, so it's different than regular calligraphy, it's a healing art. So we are really interested in the connection. So what we're going to do is do the usual practices. And we find that after you do these practices, it helps you also to bring in that light, and it makes it easier to write. The writing becomes easier than if we're coming from the mind and we're just trying to write well. This one, we're kind of in that, feel that light and letting ourselves naturally learn and progress without judgment. So we're gonna first of all prepare our body. So most of you are familiar with the so how to say how home know. So if you do have any new people here, and this is new for you, if you're watching the video, let's show you the diagram. We're going to open up, they call it, most people may know it as chakras. We call it soul houses, but it's throughout the body. So usually, if you're familiar, you might know Hey Hang Home Shi Wo Yo. But we usually do in our class, we use the Guang Dan Chen I Fu Quan Wan Si, because we're writing the calligraphy and we're getting to know the phrases. Okay, so each of the soul houses, we're going to just bring in the light to open up that area and boost. What we want to imagine is like we're become a channel of light. Okay? And it goes up the channel, down the head, down the back, down here. To this we call it the Y jiao, and we use Si here. Okay. So it's going to be Guang Dan Chen I Fu Quan Wan Si. Okay. You're familiar with this, right, Marianne? So I'm just going to write. So it's this would be the how we're chanting. Is it easier to have the other picture on? Is it easier? Okay. Well, they are comfortable. They did this every time. So I'm just wondering if Emily, who is going to watch the video, she might be. So let's go here. So we're just going to go for the first. So Guang is from Da Guang Ming, greatest light. So we're going to imagine greatest light in that first soul house. Okay, so we're going to just relax, feet flat on the floor if we can, posture, tuck in our chin slightly so the back of our neck is flat. Really imagine this light, cord of light on top of your head. And the bottom of your feet, you want the cords going to Mother Earth. Okay? So feel yourself connected and grounded. And go after it. So we're going to inhale. And if you see the calligraphies behind me, we're connected to this Tao calligraphy field. Imagine that the light is coming in, breathing it in to our nose, going all the way down to the first chakra or soul house, and we're going to chant Guang. Guang for light. Those of you who are learning the calligraphy for it, you can also imagine. New people, don't worry about that. All you want to do is just focus here and just think light. Okay. So inhale. I'm going to go Guang. Guang. light, light, light. And just do as long as you can. Don't have to do as long as I do, or if you can go longer, great, but do at your own pace. So light. We're gonna now go breathe in again. We're gonna go up to the first and up to the second, making the column, okay? And then we're gonna go gone for greatest gratitude. So think about greatest gratitude. We're gonna inhale, go to the first soul house, up to the second, and gone. Greatest gratitude. Gone. And you want to imagine the light, feel that light. Third is Chen, Da Chen Bei, greatest humility. You're gonna go inhale, first soul house, go up, first, second, and the third. Level of the navel in your body, Chen. Chen. Good. Fourth is I, greatest love. So we want to feel this love in our message center, we call it, or our heart chakra. So again, inhale, light of the field, coming in to the first, all the way up to the fourth. Good, feeling that light in the heart. We're gonna do one more time because we're really working on the I. Greatest love. Inhale again. Light of the field, greatest love, up to the heart, greatest love, I. Good. And we're gonna go to the throat, Da Fu, Fu, for service, greatest service. So this is the throat chakra. Again, inhale from the field. First soul house, all the way up to the throat. Fu. Fu. Good. Feel that column growing. And we're going to go inside our head. One. This is greatest forgiveness. So the message of greatest forgiveness that brings inner joy, inner peace. So feel that light as we breathe in. Greatest forgiveness, bringing inner joy, inner peace. We're going to go from the bottom again, all the way up to the head. One. Good. And then the top of the head. One. Crown and the crown of the head. This is greatest enlightenment. Okay. Connect. Inhale, light to the first soul house. Going to go all the way up, making that column of light. One. Good. And then we're going to go to the point opposite our navel, straight line. And that is Si for greatest compassion. C-I, Si, greatest compassion. So we're going to breathe in, first soul house, and then just going up to that point. Si. Good. And now as we open it up, we're going to do what we call the energy circle. Up to the 7, we're going down and make it goes to the wide down space in front of the spinal column. Okay, so this is the energy of the healing channel that can kind of help to clear, open us up. So when we write our Tao calligraphy, the light and the energy flows much more smoothly. and you'll notice how your writing can shift, okay? So for those of you, you can either put your hand on your head and or your lower, or you can follow. We have like this exercise that we put if you can, put either your palms or your wrists together. And we just kind of go up like Wang Gan Chen. It's like going up the soul houses. Wang Gan Chen, I Fu Quan Wan, and then down the back. Si is the back. So, si. Wang Gan Chen, I Fu Quan Wan, si. So it's easier to read it here. So, but it's going up this way. Okay, so let's go. Wang Gan Chen, I Fu Quan Wan, si. Wang Gan Chen, I Fu Quan, si. Wang Gan Chen, I Fu Quan Wan, si. Wang Gan Chen, I Fu Quan, si. And then we're going to go the opposite way. So we're going to go start from the back. Sit inside the spinal column. One, two, I, Chen, gan, guang. One, two, I, Chen, gan, guang. Okay, so we're going to do it that way. Okay, so this is, you can say it that way. Okay. So we're going to go opposite. Up the back. One, two, I, Chen, gan, guang. One, two, I, Chen, gan. One, two, I, Chen, gan, guang. One, two, I, Chen. So this is a rejuvenation channel, or the matter channel. And we usually try to also do the 10 channel, because it's soul channel. And basically it's, we go here, one, guang, we meet at the third chen, si. So it's actually two circles going like this in the body. Okay? So the mantra is, Chen channel, one, guang, chen, si. Okay, so I'm just gonna, you can just either put your hands on like here and sit down. I'm just gonna make the motion so you can imagine the channels, okay? One, guang, chen, si. 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 Good. So those are the three channels, and that just brings the light into your bodies. So when we write again, it might feel different. So let's just practice writing da again. And again, I'm gonna, for those who did not get really yet, just feel how it feels like there's a line here. You can just follow along. Left, down the middle, go out, left, and around. And we'll go into the instructions more, so don't worry if you have it or not. I want you to just feel how the brush feels after we open up our channels and just like down. So we are feeling grounded, but relaxed. You're feeling aligned, the light coming in. We brought in, open the channels to feel the light and energy. And we're writing from the heart. Okay, that's what we've been practicing in other classes. New people, don't worry about it. Just get familiar with your brush. Just kind of enjoy noticing how the brush feels. You're just working on the connection with your brush. To enjoying the writing. Good. Okay. And others, you can start, sending in the information. And we're going to bring in this feeling of oneness and connection, like in last class we worked on. But we're going to also bring this feeling of light when we do physical activities. So writing, but also exercising, or if you're washing dishes, this can be translatable. I want you to really feel the light that we've brought in through this practice. Okay, so just allow yourself to relax. Again, we're going to ground. We're going to imagine a ball of light in our lower abdomen. This is the source of power for us, for our Tao Calligraphy. So just allow yourself to relax. You can put your knees slightly bent and feet shoulder width apart. Check your alignment, your chin, your shoulders down. And just feel yourself grounded and relaxed, okay? Allow yourself to be grounded and relaxed, shoulders relaxed. And now you can be, connected. You're not going to do a brush yet. So just feel that connection. We've imagined that we've connected to the Tao Calligraphy Committee. Last week, we really honed in on that connection, like this team of high-level beings to help us bring this love and positive message into Mother Earth at this time. Okay, so we're using this sacred modality, Tao Calligraphy. Feel the love, open your heart, feel the love. Whatever we're writing, we're connecting right now with Tao I, greatest love. So if you're writing that, or even just writing Da, that is the Da, the greatest, for greatest love. So just think love, love, love in your heart. Okay, so we're, again, grounded, relaxed. We're feeling this alignment with this light channel, okay? Whatever you want to call it, Tao Calligraphy channel that holds positive, high frequency messages. It could be with the universe or your own spiritual fathers and mothers. And we're going to be writing with heart, connecting on a heart-to-heart level with the message that we're writing. So think about that, okay? And in this channel, we're going to also check in with our body, kind of relax and open it up. So we're going to start from the top, feeling connected to heaven, and we're going to just gently rotate our neck, just opening up. Again, if you're too tight or you have a physician's instructions not to do this, do not do it. Follow your healthcare provider. But if you're okay to just gently and slowly just roll, keep your shoulders down and just rotate your neck to loosen up that neck and shoulders. You can put your hands to the side. You can put your brush down if you like, or anything down, just hands. But we still are connected with this light field. You can go the other way. We're just going to be aware of where we are holding tension in our neck and bring light there. And greatest love. Our necks have been holding our heads and doing so many things. Our shoulders, we're bringing love and light. Give love and light to your neck and shoulders. Okay. Very gently and lovingly, we're just opening up that area. Now bring your head back into balance. into the alignment. Again, check chin tucked in, neck flat. And we're gonna, with this posture, we're gonna just roll back our shoulders gently, opening up this part, okay, and also the back. So gonna just gently roll back our shoulders. Okay. Releasing, don't overdo. Okay, and only do these things if you're okay and your healthcare provider is okay with it. Okay, you're opening it up. Okay, so with Master Shah's teaching and his teacher, we usually just open up going backwards. We don't usually do too many forward rolls because we usually are doing too many things forward. Writing, typing, dishes, everything is forward. So we want to actually develop the other part of the muscles and gently rotate it back. So usually that opens up the message center here. Just allow yourself to just gently rotate. You might feel some clicking I do or some noise. Relax. But as you do it more and bring the light, inhaling the light of the field, you can bring that in your body. Relax. Good. Okay. Shake out our hands a little. We can open up this chest too. The shoulders, elbows in. I'm gonna just gently open up. See if we can have a stretch here or maybe in the back side, okay? So you can either just open for a few seconds and release. You don't want to overdo. If you feel like you can hold a little bit longer, you can add a few seconds. So what we want to do is like your elbows in, just like if you're holding something, holding a book here. If I'm holding this, I have to squeeze in my elbows to hold up the book, okay? So elbows in and go back. You could do it at home, you could put in like a towel or something. So if it falls, it doesn't hurt you, okay? So just opening up. And soon you might feel this part opening, light, okay? So usually inhaling this light, greatest love into that area. And relax. Greatest love. Again, we're still in this column, in this channel of light. We're staying in this light field as we're doing physical activity, okay? Because in Tao Calligraphy, we are doing sacred spiritual practice, but it's something that we do engages us physically, okay? Bodies. Okay. Nice, okay? Again, you can relax, shoulders, connect, massage or tap lightly, okay? Bringing light. When we tap, I usually like to imagine light, light, light. We're generating the light, bringing that into our bodies. You can also do like our lymph nodes here, go down, okay? Light, light, light down our hands. And as our hands are up, imagine yourself again connected with heaven. Bring it down to, this is like a humanity. This is like the word Da. Mother Earth, humanity, like a person. Okay. Just can stretch out, feeling the stretch. Can also stretch out. And this is one, you haven't heard Master Sha teaches this. If you hold this for about 5 minutes, just in this, you can work your way up. Don't have to. For those of you who are like starting, like have like a sniffles or like helps your immune system open things up. Okay, so you can just stay as long, but it's usually your hands up this way for 5 minutes. It's gonna help prevent the cold. But this can also help prevent, yeah, this is a good maintenance activity. Okay, we're just gonna loosen it up, the wrists a little bit for ourselves. Can hold it. Okay, can relax. Let's see, just allow yourself. Some of you take Tai Chi. Feel the light coming in. Our hands is nice and red. There. Okay, bringing the blood flow. So again, feeling the upper body relaxing. Most of us hold a lot of tension. Okay. Now let's bring it down to Mother Earth. So if you can, we're going to allow ourselves to get a stretch in our legs. So we can just do what's comfortable. We don't want to hurt your back. Usually you bend at the waist, not your back, right? And just to get a stretch in your upper thighs, behind your thighs. Do the chest maximus. And then also leave your calves. Just let gravity allow you to stretch. Just relax. Right? Don't overdo, just do what you can. It's about moving down. Touch your toes on the floor. Your calves. Feel yourself still in a column of light. Relaxing. Grounded. Connected to Mother Earth. We can tap our legs. So again, right, we can tap the back right here. Up your thighs, down your calves, up front, and then the sides of your legs. Sides. Just do what you can. Right, moving our legs. Bringing the light down, grounding us further. Okay. And we can just rotate our ankles a bit. Okay, just get that circulation going. When we do Tao calligraphy, it's good to have everything circulating well. Okay. And our posture to minimize, and this will become a healing rather than something that creates more tension. Okay. So let's just kind of shake it out. Maybe next time we'll do the hands. Today we'll just warm up the body. And check in again. Are you still feeling this connection with this light field? How is your body doing? Can bring our minds back to our lower abdomen if it went away. We want to try to always keep it in the lower abdomen. Feeling this light, okay, relax. Okay. Those of you who know the hand exercises, if you want to do it, you can go ahead. For now, we're just gonna relax. And we're gonna now pick up our brushes. Again, feel that connection, that oneness. And we're gonna trace down. Okay, so if you have it on your paper, you can trace your paper. And you can just trace the da. If those of you who have da eye, you can trace I as well. So just want to get ourselves familiar with the pattern of the da. Straight line, lift up, down to the side and around. And just allow yourself to just enjoy the pathway, tracing down. And again, staying in the light field. Okay? So allow yourself to enjoy da I. So greatest love. So think of this greatest love, unconditional love as we trace. Okay, even though it's written in black, you can imagine it like gold light, gold ink coming. Because the greatest love. Good. We can trace the example. Good. You can go right on here. It's already improved your quality of the stroke. I can feel the light coming through. Wonderful. Good, Amy. How did that feel? Good. Good, yeah. Good, yes, the power came through in the movement. And yours too, Marion, got bigger and I could feel like the grace and the flow coming in. So with the Tao calligraphy writing, I'm starting with us recognizing what feels good, what works well, the light that's coming in. So we're just going to trace your Da. Enjoy the foundations and the basics. So Amy said she's really working to ground and her Da got very powerful and balanced. So those on the line as well. Even for the teachers, the Tao calligraphy teachers, we always go to the basics and the simple. We're still working on our Da. So allow yourself to trace Master Shah's or Tao calligraphy teachers' Da. Giving the love. And just enjoy the strokes. And while you're tracing on the paper, you get a chance to also experience how your brush kind of slides. Yeah. And the tracing is one of the primary ways that we transform in Master Sha's teaching. Carries that higher frequency, vibration, and message. And it helps us to train our bodies, right? To get into that muscle memory pattern of writing. So again, you can feel connected and just enjoy. So usually in the beginning, Master Shah would say like trace about 50 times and write one time. Trace 50, write one. It usually then can range from 30 to 50 after you're more comfortable. But when we're starting to learn, we trace much more than we write. And also what's happening is it's training our body, but also clearing any negative messages and bringing in this more positive message. It's like a purification exercise, cleansing exercise. And it allows us to realign to the path. If you notice it, we just trace, sometimes we don't pay attention and we might go too out, you know, we are wanting to allow ourselves to kind of align to the path of the positive light and messages it's created here. So that helps us to bring us in balance. It's written with that R and the okay. So now let's write another, and those on line 2, you can turn in some writing as people are tracing. Let me check. Okay, great. So I have Grant's one at the start. So Grant, you're making some great progress from your first. Like there's some consistency from your last writing just now, from last week. Okay, good. So let's see. This is today's one. Wow, great. You can see the balance coming in for Grant. You guys can see that, right? Just his second one. So I didn't even correct him at all, but just with the exercises, getting aligned, it can naturally balance out in the tracing. So great, Grant. Let me give the next steps for you. For your eye. So, okay. So for your Da, I'm going to have you bring that out a little bit down further. And for the eye, nice. I'm going to have this one here a little higher there. And let me see. And then let me see Evelyn's. Beautiful, Evelyn. So Evelyn started with her da, very nice, strong. Beautiful. This is really nice, Evelyn. And then her da eye. Good. So you kept your da, and the eye looks really nice too. Let me see if I had to think. It'll probably just be the heart area right here. Because it's a bit thicker here, and it's this part is also thick too. So you have that kind of stuck. So let me just so it's just a little bit lower. I think that would work well. Okay. Good. Okay, so okay, great. I'm gonna just come in here. So you did really well. How is it feeling with us? Great, yeah. So this part here is very nice. You have the line here, up, down. So this part is great, but this head, this is good. What I'm gonna have you do is here, and you're gonna have to go out. Oh, I didn't teach you. So I'm gonna get the instructions, but you did so well. But I'll give formal instructions now. So, and looking at people's stuff, Trent, also with yours, you're gonna open your top up two of yours. Let's review the dog. So some of you are familiar with the traditional. We have this line. Okay. The second stroke is a line down the middle. And the third is a line down. So that's hung, pie, na is in Chinese. The strokes, what it's called. Hung, lift, pie, lift, na. Okay. So this is a traditional. But with Tao Calligraphy, we're going to join it, right? So hung, lift, we're going to, it's oneness writing. Down here, we're going to lift. And then we're going to curve this one in, okay? So the way it will be is lift, side stroke, so you go straight down the middle, and then we kind of curve to the outside, lift, and then we go down, curve again. So the way, so this stroke is, if you can get used to this stroke, down, okay? So it's, for the second stroke, it kind of goes straight a bit, and then it goes down, right? Because it has this down. Okay. And then we turn over. So let's try that again. Straight, lift to the middle. We're gonna go press down. Like we're gonna go straight here, and then we're gonna go to the side after we cross that mark. We're gonna go a little bit outside of the line here. We're gonna lift the brush to kind of go upward and then going down. So what we're looking for right now is like, it looks like a triangle here, but this line is lighter, right? These two are equal. This line goes straight down, we go to the curve to the left, and then we lift up, and it almost looks like a rainbow or semicircle, right? Here, press down, and then we end in line. So this is what we're looking for, the balance here. So it's not till the curve. This is just a beauty stroke. So it ends here, and then you start lifting the brush and then moving in, because this will usually join to the next character. So the Tao will just end there. So straight line, lift, straight vertical line. After you cross, you go out to the side, lift, and then around. Okay. So for yours, Grant, I think for balance, you want to maybe make the head a little bit bigger on yours. I didn't put that comment. But I think let me just see.
I know on that one for sure.
Okay, great. Yeah, you usually, yeah, sometimes you have it but you've been really working on the bottom part to get it balanced.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, so this one is a bit better
Mm-hmm.
when you have
The last one, yeah.
yeah, that one looks more balanced. I think even if you make this a little bit straighter here, because
Okay.
you probably
Got
are
it. Yeah.
using the other card that used to be written, more
Yeah.
like that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
understandably, it still can work, but now he's changed
Or straight. Yeah.
or
I've been trying to work on that, getting a little
yeah,
more straight. Yeah. Okay.
beautiful, Marianne. Wow, look at the improvement already. Which is yeah, yeah, yeah. But you see feel the balance, what's happening at the bottom of the beam, more, and now your head looks really good. This part here, right? Yeah. And then after we move this part here, you can go a little bit more to the side. And then you have to do the lights. Yeah. So you notice how this part is this one's a bit better. You see how it may be flat. So we would just make it go up a little bit. And then down. Good. Great. Good. So some of things are nice. We also can open up the head, but this one is small, but this one is a bit better. So let's see. For the head, what would be nice? I know I said triangle, but I can know how to write. So you can focus on here, lightening this stroke here, and then. Okay. So this one is lighter. How important. You see how this one is about the same width. Oh yeah. So go on your tip. So this one. Okay, you see how your brush is twisted? Yeah. So you can get it back into shape again. Let's put this brush across. So pick it up. Can I use it? There you go. Yeah, but it is more advanced. So for this one, like you say, it's not too twisted, right? Yeah. So what it's like different than that. So this one, yeah, yes, try that one. So this one, if you go here, and then this will go straight down like this. You see how they and then you go out to the side. Yeah. You gotta take on the brush. And then it goes down. And that right? Yeah. And then you find it doesn't turn it a little bit, but try to see if you want to use that. Yeah. Okay, better. I think. Yeah. Good. Sorry. Great. Wonderful. So let's see. Very good. Okay, let me see the next one for. Oh, good, Grant. So you opened up the head part of your da. Very nice. There. And yeah, you're getting it much more balanced and proportioned. Can you feel that? It looks really nice.
Kind of work on straightening the
Yeah. And yeah, I think the next we're still doing a bit of the proportion, but then the next would be the yin and yang. So what I'll do right now is your top of the eye. Okay, so let me I'm gonna separate the dots a little bit to give it. Can you see? I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Well, let me just. I'm gonna keep your first stroke so you can see. Okay. Okay. Good. So for the new students, just keep working on the da for now. I'm gonna just for Grant though for the I, and you can also listen as you're gonna eventually learn this, but don't worry too much about it. So for the I, Grant, so the roof, it's I think it's okay, like the angle. And I think the first two dots, you want to make it all even. 1, 2, 3. Yours, I think these two are closer together, look closer together. So I brought this one out for you of the dots. And then I think it'll match up well with your heart a bit. And that one, the heart could be a little bit in. I think the heart was a little bit big on the inside. So I'm gonna, the dot. And good, you had this part and you got the space in there. So you really worked on now. Now it looks nice. Now you have that space. You bring it to the middle. You're gonna make the heart, right? The heart is measured with the top in alignment. So I opened up the dots a little bit for you, keeping the heart there. I think for this one, we had to put it a little bit in to keep it balanced with the last part. Right. But I think your proportion of the 1/3, Grant, seemed to be okay. This one looks a little bit small for me here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it was here, Grant, on the heart was a bit big here on yours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just a tad in, and I opened up there for you. And I think the other is much better. Let me just see. I'll just do those two for now. Let's see. Okay. 4. Okay, great. Okay. And let's check Evelyn's. Great, Evelyn, you have any questions? So great, looks really nice. It's coming up for you.
My heart is still small. Kind of small.
Just a little bit, right? But you can, and I think it's a little bit higher on the right side lobe.
Yeah.
So you can, and yeah, so I think that one is a main one. The other part too is this part here, and I can see that you worked on it, but it could be a little bit. Others can also just start to just know how it's written. You don't have to write the eye yet, but one, two, three. So this part, let me just finish up my stroke. All right. So after the dot, good. Think about where you want to put this part here of your roof. So the line going down and around. So when we do our dots, you can, dot and around. And it doesn't have to be too long. Like doesn't have to be, because yours is starting from your dot, so it kind of feels really long, that this here. It might not have to be that long. I'll probably make it from here. Maybe from here rather than from the dot. Do you see that, the connection? Because I know it seems like it's gradually going in, but you can't make a distinction. Where's my example here. So yours is kind of coming the distinction too far out. You can do it a bit shorter, as long as you have a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the old one, so I probably would make it more rounded now.
Because I was trying to match the dot, that's why. The bottom of the dot, because the dot kind of goes out.
Let me put it on yours. Okay. So the da.
Is it supposed to be more in?
So here, I think just here like that. You have a little bit here, and then you just.
Is it too much? Too long?
Yeah, it just seems a little bit long.
Okay.
So like the roof of that, and then a little bit out, right? Yeah, I'd love to see how you're writing it, but let me just, and then it's 1, 2, 3. But this part, this one is better. Nice, nice. And you really worked on the bottom part, that one really looks good. So a little at a time. Really nice. Okay. Okay. So what we can do is think about the area that you are working on and allow yourself to trace one of Master Shah's or the sample writing. And notice when you're tracing it, how it feels. Let's see if I can on the screen. I had some challenges sharing Zoom today, but let me see. Okay. So see this one. So you see this one, Master Shah also starts right at the end here for the eye and the roof. This one too, over here is the in and then around. Let me see this one. Oh wait, let me see the other one. Yeah, this one too. In and around. So that's something I just noticed as well too. So for those of you who are learning the eye, this is what we just found out. for the traditional eye, just to familiar, it's 1, 2, 3. We have a roof, then we have the heart inside, and then we have the bottom part. Okay, so what we're talking about with Evelyn is you folks are doing a good job having enough space here. You and Grant, that you need the space, but where to put this? Because when we translate it in Tao Calligraphy, we have here, we're just bringing the dots. Okay, so we're talking about here. This is a lighter stroke here. I could go lighter here. But you see here, the end of the roof, and here's maybe where you can start the roof. That's where I see it a lot in Master Shah's and in the different pieces. Okay. So this stroke is this stroke, but we're putting it on the top. So this is the roof, and we're curving it slightly. Okay. After here, we go to the middle, and again, this is a connector. It's light, and then we make the heart, and we try to make it in line with this. So we talked about for you folks to make this line a bit longer, to make it lower, so you can make your heart lower so it doesn't interfere with that connector stroke. So it has enough space, like the heart has enough room to open and breathe. Okay, and then the last part is this part here. Many of you have really improved on this part already. We're gonna bring that, we're gonna start it here in the left side of the heart. We're gonna go down, lift, around, up. Okay. So all these three should be in alignment. Okay, I'm writing on the side, so I can't see. Let me just stop the share. Okay, so I cannot see myself. Many of you have already improved this part to go up and down. So bringing this down and just opening up the heart, so this heart is balanced. It's good. So you guys have been making really great progress. I'm going to keep repeating these rules. So those of you who are just learning it for the first time, don't worry too much. For the proportion, we have the rule of thirds. 1, 2, 3. The 3 sections should be about even. So for Evelyn, we were talking about yours. Instead of starting your line from further, you can just start it more towards the end. Also, your heart, I think, is sufficiently down. I think you're just making it a little bit bigger to balance with the top and the bottom. And this is where, when we make the bottom, we balance it with the heart, right? So it doesn't go outside. So if you get this in that alignment, it will have that sense of alignment and not going in and out. Okay. But very good, because I noticed a lot of progress here with Grant and Evelyn, and also making more space here for both of you. So that's really good. I think that, yeah, what we're starting on is just that shorter mark there for you. So just to learn from our other students, but don't worry too much. We'll get through it and we'll break it down a bit. I usually teach the heart before everything else. So we just, so like the greatest and then the heart, and then later on we can go through the different steps. And you all already know the heart, so it'll be easier. So I can look complicated, but when you break it down, it's not too bad. Yeah, great. So let's check in again. What is it that you're working on? And trace whatever calligraphy you have. Again, we talked about tracing one that best represents what you want to work on, because Master Shah, if you notice, every book or he has like a different representation. He started with one, but his calligraphy keeps evolving, and the way he teaches keeps evolving. So, you know, it changes. So we always just go with what he's currently teaching or how he currently writes. So like for this one, I also changed because it used to be flatter here. Now it's more curved down. But just notice when you're tracing, whichever one, how it feels to trace. Like trace it like you're writing it. So you can trace it with your brush and imagine that you're actually writing, and go very slowly, because you can kind of feel the new pathways coming in to the writing. Okay. And with the corrections, you might consciously know what you want to do, but the messages inside kind of go automatic. So even though we know our hands still seem to have a mind of its own, so that's okay, that happens. But as you keep tracing, slowly it clears out that message, the old message, to bring in the new, lighter, more balanced message. Okay, so that's what it's like training our muscles, but also our soul, right? So our soul keeps the positive messages. Because with Tao calligraphy, every stroke has a message. We're not going into reading the calligraphy. I think Evelyn may have been in some advanced classes that a lot of times they might tell you what it could mean for you. Right now, we're just allowing you to relax and feel. Sometimes intuitively, you might have a sense of what part of the body that resonates with it. But because we are really being careful about, like, we're not making any diagnosis. So although they might say this represents like the head, you know, like the shoulder, the heart, you know, the bottom part of our bodies, it's more of a suggested message, but we're not doing any formal diagnosis. But as like Master Sha, when he does the reading, spiritual reading, as you write, you may get information on what you're carrying. In our class, we're really focusing more on seeing what we like and we're doing well. Before we critique what we need to improve on, we want to recognize and appreciate what is coming in and what we like about it. Because it's not, this is a healing message. We're connecting with like the light, the source, the Tao calligraphy committees, and they're bringing in this light through us to Mother Earth, right? And so it's a whole new creation of love and light, greatest love. And we want to make sure we appreciate that rather than critique or judge it, right? So through Tao calligraphy writing, we really can work on also like seeing things through the eyes and the heart of light and love, and get that appreciation, what we're doing well, what looks great, what feels good. And we know that there's always going to be another thing that we can improve. So we do that secondly. First is you appreciate what you like, and then we will see what we can improve, okay? Because most of us brains are trained, oh, on a paper, 100 points, 99. Oh, where's the one I got wrong, right? Like, what did I get wrong, right? We don't get a chance to fully appreciate what we do. So we're really retraining our brains to really be able to be in that love, light, appreciation, and then we do our correction, okay? So we want to do it for ourselves. So even if your brain already says, oh, I made a mistake, retrain it. Oh, but what did I like? And yes, I'm so glad I got to know what I'm going to work on, but what did work well, okay? And I tend to emphasize that part a lot in my classes, because our brains, I feel it can really help you with that self-love, self-honoring, as well as honoring from what we receive from the universe, and retraining the way we look at things. So if we meet someone, we can see, oh, their love and the light, not, oh, this person, not the judgment part that comes in and questions who they are. We can see their light first, and then we can, you know, we don't have to mention the other part for them, but for ourselves, we always improve. and even for our own qualities. Okay, so just notice the patterns and don't worry if the judgment comes out. Yeah, the bathroom should be open. Yeah, because we just want to be aware. Awareness is key. So let's see if there's any questions online or in the class. How about you? It's your first time. Yes. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Great. Okay, good. Thank you. Yes. So this is, I love this modality because it can, one, let us know by the process of how we're writing, and you can have a seat. And when we're actually in the channel, but it gives us a physical representation of what, where we are at any moment. And that's why we tend to take photos to track our progress. And we want to do it without judgment. One of the things that we're learning is really not judgment, because even the areas that show up to be not maybe as we would like it, has a message, and the message that it might carry might be very important for our transformation and growth. So we want to actually be really grateful. So let's see how people are doing. We have about half an hour left, and let's take a check-in. So some of you have made some goals for your Tao calligraphy. We sometimes start the series with a goal, either something that we want to transform, because Tao calligraphy writing is for healing and transformation. So just doing the Tao calligraphy and having that intention, we're clearing away the negative messages by, connecting with the light, the source. So you could have like a general goal. The other could be a Tao calligraphy writing goal. And this could be, as simple as my mother had, just to pick up her brush every day, right? Or write one character or to trace, to stay connected, right? So everyone remembers their goal or wants, you can create one too if you want now, I can think about it. But any updates on that for those online, Grant and Evelyn? How are you folks doing?
I just, I try to recite all 10 Da every morning.
Oh,
when I
good.
can. So I
Great.
have it all, and then I'm trying, I've been working on trying to work on each of the 10 Da as far as the writing, but I'm probably still on the first 4 at this point.
Okay. To
Yeah.
memorize the pathways.
Memorize the patterns, the pathways. But I
Okay.
always try to, I have the 10 cards that I got originally. So
Yes.
but like you said, things change in terms of his interpretation of the writing itself.
Yeah.
So even like with his the eye, it has morphed into a different, site. So it's interesting to be able to try to change, because I'm so used to tracing that card that
Yes.
so, but it's coming, and I'm with your guidance, it's definitely
So if you do, so the card is great for tracing for healing purposes. If you have like the book, I think you have the book. This is the most current one, or this one is actually the most current one. But both of them are similar. One is focused on the back, and one is on anxiety, depression. But I don't know if you have these.
No.
You have the green one, huh?
I have the green one. I have a yellow, green.
Oh, the yellow one. You have this one?
No, it's a different one. It's
How about
more
the red? Do you have the red one?
I don't have the red one either, yeah.
Okay. So if you get either of these,
I can probably get them online, through Amazon.
Online. But the Da-I, but it might be on the handout I gave you, but this is a Da-I for the healing. But it has his most current
that one, okay.
book, right? So you see how it curves and some of the different things that we talk about. But know that even if you do the card, usually the pattern of sequence of the writing is similar. There's very few that change. Like I think just like Da Wan Man and maybe Dao Guang Ming. Well, actually, the sequence is pretty similar. It's just the way it looks is different, but the way you write it is similar. Except for I think the first book of Da, the Soul Healing Miracles, his Da I was a little bit different. He did his part like a 8 or something. It's different. Part is similar. It's just certain parts like are more rounded now or straighter, but the pathway itself is still similar though. So, just so it's not like a new pathway you have to learn. It's just some of the details around it. Yeah. So let's, you can do both, but let's try Da. We all can work on Da. So just allow ourselves to see how we feel. We stay out in the channel and connected. And the Da we're writing is for Da I. Okay, so this is a Da for Da I. Because there's a Da for Da Kuan Chu, a Da for Da Guang Ming. This is the Da for Da I. So I want you to, we're going to practice the feeling of it. That's last half. So just relax. And let's stand like a Da if you can. So if you are able to stand up, feet on the ground, shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent. And we're going to just stretch out like our exercises. And this is actually how some of the Chinese teachers teach Da. We have a path going here and here are the legs, right? So as we're in this position, think big, greatest. This means big or greatest, like, right? Greatest, big. So allow yourself to think big, 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 greatest, 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 as you stretch out and think greatest loves, like big love. So you can close your eyes and just think big love, greatest love, greatest love. That this love that you're connecting to the field is so big, it covers your entire body. Whole body is filled with light of greatest love, and it just expands throughout the room you're in, throughout the city you're in, throughout the island or your state that you're in, throughout the country and the world. Great big love, expanding, 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 expanding. Greatest love, the whole universe. Feel that big love, okay? Now relax your hands. We're gonna trace. You can bring your brush, keep your mind in your lower abdomen, but keep that feeling of big, great love, okay? We're gonna hold our brushes, keep our mind in our lower abdomen, still relax. I'm gonna just write it in the air in front of us, okay? Big love, so you can make it big motions. Big love, we're gonna just make this line, straight lines, like going out, right? This is like that first line we're writing, okay? So that's right, big love, we're gonna go up, straight line, all the way to humanity, up. I'm gonna connect with heaven, bring that love and light down. It goes to humanity all the way to Mother Earth and then around other part of your body, okay? So let's just write Da again, get that feeling of greatest love to expansive love. Covering the whole room, the whole world, okay? Just get that greatest love. And it's not just our love, like, that can feel limited. Think the universal love, countless galaxies, planets, stars, heaven's love, and just enjoy. And if you want to dip and lift too with your knees down, again, greatest love coming up, down, and around, okay? So you can make it big strokes first. big. Get that sense of greatest. Big love, big love, big love. So feel the light of that big love of enjoying. Now we're going to start writing it smaller, but keep that sense that it's big love. By writing it smaller, more condensed. The writing is more condensed, but the feeling is still there. Big love, greatest love. Okay? Big love, greatest love. Now you can try to write smaller, like how you would write on your paper, that size, still in front of you. Big love, greatest love. Big love, greatest love. You can trace any calligraphy. You have the eye. Big love, greatest love. You can just do the top. Big love. You know what? I'm gonna do that one too on top, just because for the writing it's like even more appropriate to what you're learning how to write. Okay. So, and just from here. Big love, down. Big love, greatest love. Spans universes, dimensions. Big love, greatest love. Big love, greatest love. Okay. So trace that. Your example, big love, greatest love. Keep that feeling, big love, greatest love, big love, greatest love. Okay. And now let's try right again. Big love, greatest love. Just using the word big because get that physical feeling. Big love. Right? And with that sense of great love coming out, I just want you to write the dot. Okay. Don't worry how it looks like right now. I want you to think about how it felt. Good. How did it feel, Mary? Great. You could feel it, right? It was drawing for you. Good, huh? I got chicken skin when you said that. How about you, Amy? How did that feel? Felt better? Okay, good. So she wasn't concentrating. So not so much in your mind, right? Yeah. So like Marianne made the comment like it was writing her, right? Like she wasn't. And that's what we want to do for Tao Calligraphy. Our mind needs to be engaged as we start Tao Calligraphy to learn the strokes, to learn how it is. But once we have that, trust that, and then we feel the light and the power and it writes through us. And that's where our mind quiet settles down. So it's not like I'm trying to write this or that. We're just being able to feel that energy, that light coming through. And that's the power of it. And it feels good. It'll feel different, right? Great. Wonderful. So stay with that. So you can do a similar exercise of just think like great love. Feel that universe is loving you, filling you up, and it's just pouring through you. And then you write. And then just feel the writing. So this part, we're just feeling the writing, getting that. Because I don't usually write like this, but just want it to go big, right? Usually I'm gonna. So for this one, don't worry too much how it looks like. You want to get that feeling. And then we're gonna balance that later to make it more balanced because we're condensing it into where we are. But it still holds that light and that power. So even if Master Sha's writes really little, it's like a condensed energy, but it can radiate out so big, even though it's written small, right? So let's stay in that space. And we have 50 more minutes. So I'm going to go through more of the technical part a little, but I want you to keep the feeling of big. great love. And you just want to write it with the greatest love. So again, the slide, first slide, traditional. Okay. It's gonna write quote. So think. Let's again practice. We're going to be grounded. Feel this light in our lower abdomen. We're grounded, relaxed. Our mind is on our lower abdomen. Shoulders down. We're holding the brush. We're honoring the brush. Giving love, great love to the brush. You feel this align with the message of greatest love. So align with the universe, Tao Calligraphy Committee, all of your treasures, upliftments, and orders. Those of you who had blessings before, or Krishners. So feel yourself that you are inside this light. Light is inside of you. Feel greatest. Now in your mind's eye, you're gonna just think of the writing. So I'm gonna just go through the basics. You can, so you're gonna bring in the power light, you're gonna spread it across humanity. Okay. Lift up, we have light, again, connecting with heaven, bring it down, across, for the earth, and then we'll just pour it down, okay? So, we're gonna go dip, lift, dip down. After we cross that stroke, we're gonna go to the side, kind of like a side, lift, gently, and then down, evening the bottoms. So the bottom is wider than the top, a little wider than the top. These should be pretty much balanced, right? These lines. This line usually goes straight until it curves out. This line is usually a little lighter because this is a connector. You see, this is this line. This connects, so it doesn't have to be long. And then this is the darker line, because that's the traditional stroke. Okay. So that's why this is gonna be darker. This and that. So this stroke is darker. This stroke is darker. This stroke is darker. Okay. These two are lighter because these are the connectors. Okay. So it would be like dip. Again, think about here. You're just letting the brush drag. Dip. Thinking here. But in the pathway, so this it comes natural, the connections. Okay, so that's another way that you can think of it. Dip left, think here, naturally go, lift, down. So we want to actually do less thinking here. This is actually like the brush naturally moving to this point, and you're making that stroke. Okay. This might be a more advanced teaching. You can just keep it in mind for the beginners. The beginners just get familiar with the pathway. Okay. And the basic is to get this balanced here on the bottom. This is a little bit and these lines are straight, left, down. Okay, so most of you are doing really well here. Now go and just kind of do a last correction for everyone. I'll do it here and then. This one you see is the head and the bottom is a bit balanced. So after you write, yeah. Okay, good. Okay, here let me first of all go through how you can go through a practice. And if you go to the videos on the daily playlist, you'll go through it. So this could be the process of writing. We trace first, right? We trace, we get that feeling. We might get that feeling of, great, right? That big, okay? And then we do a writing. So let's say we trace the da, okay? Then we write ours. We're being aligned and grounded as possible. So we're gonna write, and then after we write, then we want to take a moment to appreciate. Okay, how did it feel? Did we like it? What did we like? Oh, I started off strong, nice straight line. Okay, it looks pretty balanced and so forth. After you appreciate and express gratitude and kind of enjoy that great love coming in, then you can say, oh, what would be one area? Just you can just choose one if you like, that I might improve, right? And I'll just say for here, like, oh, this part is a little bit thick. It's about the thickness of this. It's just as thick. I would probably want this a little bit thinner. So this would be that area. Okay. So then I would practice. I know what I want to focus on. I'm just saying that it's going to be this. And I go back to the calligraphy that we are tracing, that we are the one that we are having the power. And I'm going to practice. For me, I have to lift my brush up, right? Because I need to make it thinner. So I'm going to be practice lifting down, lift up, down. So as I'm practicing, I'm going to trace and rewrite. Because this is the part that is going to clear the blockage that's making me make it heavy here. And it's going to also train me physically to do it. But I'm actually clearing the spiritual blockages, right? When I'm tracing calligraphy teachers or master child's calligraphy that carries the channel is coming through. So that which has the power, this one has a stamp too, so there's more power. And this, as I do it as closely as possible, right? And I usually will trace it until I can feel like something like it clicks. My hand automatically does it. Sometimes I can feel the blockage. My hand wants to go out, it wants to be heavy, and I'm kind of retraining it, right? So you trace until you feel that shift, like something is releasing. And it could be 50 times, it could be 100, it could be. But for our purposes, we do it at least maybe 5, 10 times. When we're starting, it could be more. And then we go back and we write again. We try again. Okay. So we trace, write, appreciate, see one area we're going to correct. We trace again for that area, like we're feeling that blockage, right? And then we again get back into the position and we're going to rewrite again. And have the confidence, I worked on it, I'm realigned, I'm, again, go back to the feeling, the love and the light, big, down. Okay. And then you can notice, right? So maybe it happened, maybe not. If it still didn't go the way, then we know we're going to trace again. Okay. So trace and feel the feeling, right, of the character that you're writing, like big, greatest love. We're going to write it. After we write, appreciate, take that moment, like, wow, we were in the condition, we brought that light in, we're appreciating it. And then we feel one area that we can work on. And then we're going to trace again, so we can change the message there. Okay, change the message. So after we trace and connect back with the light, like Tao Calligraphy, Master Shah or Teacher wrote, then we try again and write again. Okay, and then we just will repeat the process. Okay, but even going through run round can be powerful, because what we're doing is we are clearing that message right away. What happens is sometimes we want to just, oh, we know what we have to do, we're going to try to write again. And that can just take longer. One, because your reinforced message is still there, right? So maybe in your mind, sometimes it can clear. As you get experience, it can take less. But in the beginning, going back to trace it, that's what clears out that old message and pattern, and it retrains your hand too, right? You change your body. And then so you want to trace again and then write. So I would recommend, again, tracing much more than you write. And after each time you write, pause to appreciate, see one area, trace again, at least 1 or 3 times, a few times, and then write. Okay, so try to trace before you write again, because then every time you write, something is shifting. What I saw when we were first starting, we didn't really know how all this works, that we would have some students and they would say they have papers and papers writing, but they would be writing, but they weren't tracing. And what we were seeing, and Master Shaw saw it too later, I guess, they're reinforcing their negative patterns because they didn't have the awareness to change it. So they're still writing, but they weren't writing correctly or like in a balanced way. So the blockages really didn't have the opportunity to clear as it could because so you don't actually have to write. So your practice session doesn't have to be hours. Actually, one that's really solid, and you just do one round of tracing, write once, appreciate, one area to correct, and then just kind of keep tracing again and then writing again can be really powerful. Even if the last one isn't your best, something is shifting. Most of the times you might see it and you say, oh, I want to do another round because now this one is correct, but this part is needed, right? So you can repeat it until you feel comfortable. Yes, for us, for writing, if you're writing, to improve your writing, and also I would probably use your brush and be as close as possible to the Master Shaw's calligraphy, because that's where the power is. Because if you notice in some of the Tao Calligraphy field sessions, people are tracing, but they're not really, they're following the pathway, but not close. So if I'm writing this dot, they might be going all over. So I can tell how they're writing by the way they trace. Because they're not really following, they're just like there to appreciate. But when you're writing, you have to be a bit more to the path. And this is for us, this is where the power is. And that's why I think, sometimes you might write flat or Grant, you're saying like, it's different because Master Shaw's old one. So you're used to that pattern. That one is good for tracing and healing. But if you're writing, that's why, because he evolves and he wrote that way back when, you want to trace one that has the writing that's more updated and what you want to work on, right? So if I want to work on making this more rounded, right? You see how this is flat? How, you're ready. This one though is more rounded. So I would probably trace this one because I'm trying to not make it as flat, right? Rather than this one is great healing. But our tendency would be to just make it flat, like right? Well, he's connected and it depends on the message. So that's why the Tao for each quality might do differently. There's so much power and light too. And so it just depends on how he is in the moment. But for him, even if it's not like, so he has his writing for healing. But when he writes to teach us how to write, it's like the ideal, right? But when we're actually writing and we're in flow, it will look a little bit different and it's okay. There's like that range, but basically it still will be balanced and powerful. But he will write it again if it's a wrong writing. Like he missed a line or he wrote a different character. But usually if it's the same character and the power and the light came through, he usually keeps it because that's for healing and the power came in. But sometimes he's not using his mind. So sometimes it's hard to write. That's why we have to kind of usually the team will remind him, the dates, because his mind cannot go into the human, what's the date? It takes him out. So the more he doesn't have to use that, he's just in the flow, the easier. Yeah. So it'll feel different. So you'll get a chance to feel that when you're in that, like how you said, it was writing itself. You're not thinking about how I'm going to make my stroke. It just came through. But when we're practicing, we're aligning our mind and our heart. So when we're tracing, we're kind of training our body, our mind to like, okay, this is how we do it. So the more we practice it, then it gets automatic, like how athletes, the muscle memory comes in. So part is muscle memory, but that's just a small part. The other is like the soul training. So every time, so Master Shah has that comment, soul writes first, hand follows. The soul is tracing the calligraphy because our soul is tracing it. Yeah. And then our hand will follow. So great. So I think it's time. So let's do our last one together. And again, for the last one, we really don't focus on the mind so much. We will focus on the feeling, okay? The connection. We're just going to review. And then you can take your picture. I'll give you the feedback later, okay? So let's just allow ourselves to connect. Again, we got the feeling of greatest love. This is writing with heart. We're having greatest love. We are greatest love. That's what we really are embodying. To write is to, you have a deeper connection with the message of greatest love. So remember that greatest love feeling. Check yourself grounded. You can imagine your mind in your lower abdomen. Our bodies are still relaxed but aligned. And we're writing with heart. Okay, so we're feeling greatest love, greatest love. And just like how we said, they're writing through us, we're just going to enjoy this light, this blessing, them writing through us. So you can either write just greatest love. If it comes that you want to write I, for those of you who learned it, great, but focusing just on da is perfect. Okay. Greatest love, greatest love. So 1, 2, 3, when you're ready, begin. Take a photo if you have your phone. And I want you to appreciate, you can write down too when you send yours online too. What is it that you like, appreciated about the writing coming through? And then you can also do one area that you may want to work on, because the advanced students are really good at their self-assessment. Yeah, you can take your photo. Nice. How did that feel? This is a really balanced program. Yeah. Yeah. Good. But did it get much more balanced with proportionate? Like your head got balanced? Yeah. Yeah, this part is really nice. So much balance. Yeah, really good. Like you can feel it. Did it feel good too? Yeah. 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 Right. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Good. Yeah, yeah. My blood pressure. Yeah. 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 And that's really crazy. Yeah. And that's fine for healing. Everything is good, like to memorize. The first thing is to memorize, yeah, right? So you can do it for your eyes, your mouth. And then, but if you're writing, then you practice, then you get a hand, get more of that possible. Even if you don't have your brush, you can imagine up your You can do it with your 5 fingers, but when you're doing calligraphy, I sometimes practice like I'm holding the brush. You can imagine your brush in your hand, you can do that. It's a different type of traits and you're writing about it than what other people do. So very nice. How did that feel for you, Sarah? Great. Yeah. Good. It's far more than ever expected. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. And did you see how your dot improved from the first big progress, right? It was wonderful. How about you, Evelyn and Grant? How are you folks doing? How did it feel?
So good.
Felt good? Great. Let me just see. I don't know if I got Grant's lump. Okay, nice, Grant. Much more powerful da.
Yeah.
And then the ending parts too, I can feel like you're really working on the ending. And the head, you worked out the head, much more balanced. Wonderful. It seems really powerful. Oh, nice, Evelyn. So this is already really good. This is a really nice eye, Evelyn. I wouldn't have much to correct on that one. And then this is your last one. How did this feel?
I feel more connected.
Yeah, yeah. Doesn't it see? Look at the alignment and the position. Very nice. Oh, very good. I was just gonna do like the little, but it's like, it's just probably because the leg part for yours.
Yeah.
But the eye, very nice, beautiful. Wow. Yeah. Beautiful. So congratulations, everyone. So thank you for joining. So we'll have 2 more classes. This is our second. And then we have 2 more. So maybe think about what you want to work on, the tips that we talked about, and just, a little bit at the time. I think for all of us, the alignment, letting the power comes through, because I can really see that you naturally then clear out and becomes much more in balance for both Grant and Evelyn. So great. So thank you. And then let me know if you folks also have questions next time as well. Thank you. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, this is our group. Bye, Evelyn. We'll show them next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.